What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld. Today we're going to be talking about the defensive structure, the breakdown, the abilities. I've been getting a lot of comments about, specific chemistries and, the team things and all the stuff that's going on with the actual game to get your players' overalls boosted and things of that nature. Please note that I've absolutely already gone over it throughout, several different videos. And, for those of you guys that are just coming into the family and joining the GmiasWorld fam, there is a long line of videos that you guys can go through with the Madden NFL 20 that can explain to you a lot of the things that I do with my defense and why I do those things with my defense. As far as the top 100, I want to go ahead and notify you guys if you missed the earlier Twitch stream. What happened was I went to bed with I think it was 10 hours left to kind of, get the #1 spot. And it was very, very disgusting that I woke up and these three guys somehow, some way went 25-0. Now, my one loss was a disconnect, so it is what it is, but a lot of other players that actually came into my stream today were in the top 10 and were pushed out because of those three guys. Now, I don't know what goes on and how you can actually sit through 25 games in a blind rage with Madden to kind of get that done, but I didn't see any of these guys anywhere on this leaderboard with 10 hours left to go. But it is what it is. We ended up being number 4. We would have been number 1 if these three savages didn't do whatever they did. I don't know what they're doing. But again, it doesn't make any sense. But those are the guys that are there. Next week, hopefully we don't get a disconnect and we're able to grind it out. And we can move forward with that going forward. Some of you guys tell me that I'm number 1 with monthly. I don't know how, is that possible? I don't know what's going on with that. How is that even possible? Oh, I am. Oh, but I'm tied with these other guys. Okay, so my strength of schedule is obviously right now with 72, but Alliance is right there. He has a higher strength of schedule with 301. I don't know how many people got higher. Okay, 301.95, this guy. All right, so that's pretty much what's going on. So that's what you guys have been tweeting me. Shout out to you guys for looking out and checking it out for me. I really appreciate that, the way you guys have been looking out for me and, trying to see what's up. But I think we all get the same monthly rewards as long as we're top 100, so I don't think it really matters that, monthly I'm number 1 overall. But I just want to go ahead and point that out. Thank you guys for all the, the best wishes. We were trying to get it through, and we just couldn't pull it out, bro. Dudes came out, won 25 games in 10 hours, man. Yo, shout out to those guys. All right, so now, look, this is what we're going to do right now. We're going to go over the defensive side of the football. I'm going to thoroughly explain to you guys exactly what's going on, what's been transpiring. Now, if you guys have been watching the LCQ, the last chance qualifier, the Madden 20, to get the players, the final push to get into the Madden Bowl, you would have noticed that a lot of people are playing the near close flex, that system running the fullback dives up the middle, halfback dive, and it's a very, very ridiculous formation. Typically, those type of sets are going to give you issues up the middle. So, for those of you guys that are wondering what's going on with that and why I do a lot of what I do, I did a little bit of experimentation, okay? I took abilities off of Warren Sapp, gave it to Kevin Green, and made him, get no outsiders, finesse specialist, and enforcer, right? And then I took the abilities, because I took the abilities off of Sapp, I ran into a game where I played a guy that was running it the entire game, all right? It's a complete difference if your D tackle does not have abilities as opposed to having abilities. Obviously, that's the game. If you don't have abilities, dudes are going to play like trash. That's pretty much, that goes without saying. But it's a very, very, it's glaring that if you take the abilities off of Sapp, you are going to get dominated. It's absolutely just glaring, right? So I just want to make sure that I point that out to you guys. Another thing that I want to explain, right? When you look at Sapp and his abilities, it's a reason for all of these three. Now, for those of you guys who are like, yeah, Power Specialist is part of Pass Rush Elite, it doesn't really matter, whatever you guys are telling me about that, because when I switched it, he didn't play the same. So he generally, with Run Stopper, Power Specialist, and Pass Rush Elite, he plays like an absolute god. That's pretty much where we are with it. There's no maybe he could do this. No. This dude is a monster with these actual abilities. And it's been proven over and over and over again. Once I took the abilities off this guy, he's going to play, he's going to get sheds, but he's not as aggressive. He's not going to get those those willy-nilly sacks where the guy just runs right through the middle. You will not get that unless he has abilities. Okay, but he's going to play and make tackles here and there. He's just not as dominant. This is a key factor in stopping that near close formation. Okay, I put it in another video, like a little bit earlier, where I kind of showed you guys gameplay where I played a guy that was running the nair close and the nair close flex, all that stuff, and I showed you guys pretty much the way to contain it. And you got to understand that this is a very, very important part of that. So that's why I, spent that much time on it, like really explaining that, because you really have to understand. People are gonna run the ball up the middle on you, and it's gonna, when they're able to roll outside the pocket and also run the ball up the middle, it puts you in a situation where you can't do anything else. You got to just sit there and deal with it and get dominated. It's very, very frustrating. So that's why, when I'm explaining it, I'm trying to make sure you guys understand. You can contain it, and then it's going to come down to your user skill capability. What can you do with that user to help maintain what your players are doing? That is very, very important. So that's pretty much what you have to do. That is the way that you're supposed to go ahead and figure out what's needed. You need to make sure that your players are going to be in the position to make the best plays, and it starts in the middle. So Warren Sapp is the key. Now, you would have noticed I didn't activate Taylor Mays, but I left Taylor Mays with his abilities for now while we experiment with having Jadeveon Clowney with Unstoppable Force and things like that. All right, now look, this is what it is. With Jadeveon Clowney, you guys have to understand, this is a very, very important thing about his card. I know he's very, very cheap, but you gotta understand, he's a gold 99, which gives him those 4 ability slots, and he gets pretty much those 2 things that Warren Sapp has, and Run Stopper on the left side. Then he gets the Enforcer. Also, you could put him on kickoffs to kind of help get you a fumble. You know what I'm saying? Going forward, those are the type of things that I want you guys to really focus on. With the way that he plays, if you get guys that want to run the ball to his side, he's going to cause a lot of problems. But what's been happening as of late, there's been a lot more of these guys that are running around, running the ball and aggressive, which is why you need to have an ability on an outside guy. Now, remember, when I had it with the safeties, it was really, really good because I would, pretty much they're going to get off the block and they're going to go to the second level of the defense, and then those safeties would clean up. But now, with these dudes that are running around and somehow not getting called for holding and doing it almost every snap, you're going to need somebody else out there to kind of stop that run. So that's why I went back to Jadeveon Clowney. Now, these are specific things that are used for those purposes, to stop the run and to scream off the edge. And it just gives him that boost to be able to do what he needs to do. Now, I know what some of you guys were saying, power specialist, we probably should go edge threat elite. The thing about it is, like, I could for him, I think does he get it as a tier 1? I think he does, right? Because we could actually give it to him to see if it's a difference. With me, I don't know if it really matters. I'll try it. But the edge threat elite, like I said, with him getting that gives him everything with the best of both worlds. I will tell you this, though. With the way that he plays, it's very, very interesting, because once he has that run stopper, it pretty much eliminates your opponent's opportunity without extra blocking to run to that side. And because he gets 4 abilities as opposed to the 3 with Sapp, and he has another thing that, it's dominant pass rush moves and increased QB pressure, we're going to go ahead and do that instead of power specialist. So that way he gets both. But remember, if you're putting abilities on a player that has edge threat, make sure that player is on the edge. I've had a lot of you guys ask, yeah, if I play my 3-4 and I got Myles Garrett inside of the outside linebacker, why is he not screaming? He's not on the edge, so he's not going to have the capability of lighting up. A lot of these abilities that you get, you're able to see them light up when it's actually doing something. So because it does it that way, you can actually go ahead and see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? You can definitely go ahead and see, what the players are doing, how they're reacting, because it'll light up in certain instances. That is very, very important to understand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see what happens with Edge Threat Elite. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to have that on my player and see, does that make a difference with what this guy is trying to do as far as like the run game and, stop and then like screaming on the pass. We're going to go ahead and see what's happening with that situation. Okay, now, the other thing that I've been getting a lot of questions about is, all right, if you're going to do it like that, would it make sense to have another player that can be outside on the other side so that way I can completely lock up my opponent's run? A guy like Myles Garrett, for instance, right? If you got Khalil Mack, same thing, because he gets all those other abilities as well. But Myles Garrett, the thing about him also getting 4 of the ability slots, the only issue I have with him, I chem him to a 91 speed. All right. Now, when you look at his card, I really would like it. Just don't put him at D tackle. All right. I just want to make sure you guys understand it. Don't put him at D tackle. He does not play the same at D tackle because he doesn't have the weight to play at D tackle. All right. But you could pretty much make him be on the other side because he gets all the other stuff that Jadeveon Clowney gets. So you could literally have the same exact thing on both sides. The thing that's dangerous about it is that if you get a guy that's running it up the middle, it could cause problems for you. But it'll take away, for the most part, a lot of the outside runs. Okay, obviously putting run stopper, pass rush elite, edge threat, and enforcer, those things will help you not have issues from the outside. Okay, so with everything that's going to happen with this card, I've really been looking at it and trying to gauge it like, yo, you know what? I probably should put him on the other side and then just see if, you know, if they do keep running the dive with run stopper on both sides, will they both like, you know, move back and be able to stop the run when we run into a guy that's running near close? But like I said, it definitely will help you on the outside as far as, you know, letting the guy not be able to break contain, because you don't need to contain them when they have edge threat. You can leave them blitzing regular. If you don't have those abilities, I would suggest that you try the contain, but more than likely, if your opponent understands what's going on, what they do is they hike the ball, they stand stationary in the pocket, the contain kind of like stays on the outside and doesn't rush, and then when they decide to rush, the halfback picks it up and then they take their legs out. So with that being the case, you got to be very careful with those type of contains, which is why I suggest just blitzing them straight down. So he could be somebody else that we could put on the outside. The problem is, you know, Kevin Green. Kevin Green is also really good. He gets enforcer as well. And even though he doesn't have abilities, he gets natural big hit stick animations. So the reason that I point out Myles Garrett is because I actually have my 98 overall power up pass on him. So he could actually go out there and ball out like a maniac. My 98 overall power passes are on Okoye, who goes for like 1.6 mil because he's the best fullback in the game, and Myles Garrett right now, whose price has skyrocketed. So you could, like I said, theoretically, until Lawrence Taylor's released, you could put Myles Garrett on the other side, but you won't have the same speed of the rush. You see what I'm saying? Like it'll just be kind of different because Kevin Green, even without the abilities, he's gonna scream off the edge. But you can look at his numbers and see it's a bit different. 96 excel, 94 speed. You know, like that's a big deal. Now with Myles Garrett, we could also, you know, he has brawler on him. We could increase his acceleration, okay, and get it to like, you know, whatever, 96, whatever, and then have him screen. It's going to affect his strength a little bit, but I don't think that really matters, to be honest. And we could try him out over there. So it all depends, but you could also see the block shedding is higher, the power moves is higher, his finesse moves, I don't know exactly where that goes, but the strength factor may be a thing. And like I said, with the hit power, it could actually work. So, you know, there's several different scenarios in which you could do it, but this is where we are right now, you know, defensively, and this explains everything that I'm doing. Now, Pat Tillman with Selfless, that X Factor, after you get a certain amount of hit sticks, it gives everybody their X Factor ability automatically. So, you know, that's a real good thing to use with Pat Tillman. The Enforcer, I could just click on this and you'll be able to see all of his abilities instead of picking on his card. Tackle Supreme. You know what? You know, that Tackle Supreme don't work. I just realized that. You guys are telling me about that Tackle Supreme. I knew something was up, bruh. Like, low-key, is there something else I could put on this guy? Because, like, that Tackle Supreme, bruh, like, he ain't Tackle Supreming. Like, the dude is getting swerved, spinned, all kind of craziness is going on. What else he got? What else you got in here, man? I think I just put Homer on you to get the you know, the X factors highlighted a lot faster. Reach elite, ability to tackle, sack while engaged with blockers. He's my user. Reduce tackle penalty while trying to strip the ball. Yeah, I don't know. Universal coverage. I don't ever put him in coverage though, and I don't think that really matters with that. Out of my way. Would that prevent me from getting my legs taken out when I'm just doing whatever I want? I think I got to go ahead and take a look at that. But this Tackle Supreme, you know, I know it says it decreased the fake out chance, but I get faked out even more ever since I had it on. I just don't know what else to put on this guy. Higher chance to catch tip passes. You know, pick artists. I guess we go back to pick artists. so that way I won't drop picks. Yeah, I'm just gonna give him back pick artist. Let me refund this ability, because like that tackle supreme, I'd rather take my chances, dude. Like it's kind of weird, but as long as he's my user, as long as he can get lurker and he can get acrobat, we're fine. But the pick artist, when I had it on him before, he didn't drop picks at all. Like there was no bad timing user pick. It was none of that stuff. So we'll go back and do that, and I'll let you guys know. You know, I could possibly try to put abilities on Myles Garrett and put him on the outside and leave Warren Sapp doing what he's doing. I could try that and see how that works, and then give you guys some feedback on that. But to be safe, I think it's better to have your D tackle with the abilities on him. That's just to be absolutely safe with it. You know, like it's probably the best move. I gotta just gauge it, because I think Myles Garrett, if we gave him, if we took the brawler off and just gave him sprinter and increased that acceleration, I think he would go up to like 90. We could just check it right now, by the way, to kind of see if it would be worth it. We would just let me go ahead and check it. We'll take that off of him and then see how it affects him, because that acceleration means a lot. You know, jumping off the ball immediately, that's a very huge thing. So we go ahead and try it real quick. Let's replace that chemistry. Let's see what it does to his card overall. Because like I said, I'm not really worried about having 99 strength. Like, bro, that don't really mean nothing to me. Let's go ahead and check out what he's doing. All right, so he goes to a 97 excel, and his strength goes down 1. All right, so this is the situation. We know, based on what we get out of Warren Sapp, that acceleration is very, very key for alignment. So I think we could try it and see how it works. If it does not work, we can simply go back and put Warren Sapp there, and that'll be it. But looking at his numbers with that excel, I think with that kind of acceleration, we could still get off and make a play. And then we have this bum that's just sitting there. I don't know what I'm doing with this guy. He got all these numbers and he's garbage. I guess we could put him in Myles Garrett's spot, or we could probably put Chase Young there and see how Chase Young plays. But that's kind of, well, Nick Bosa kind of good. Nick Bosa, 88 strength, 95. He got better block shedding. What about power moves? Play rec 88, acceleration. It'll be between Chase Young and Nick Bosa, who would kind of sit in for Myles Garrett, and then we'll kind of play around with it. So I think we'll experiment with that, and I will get back to you guys with that information. I think we're going to do that. We'll give him abilities, and we'll put him on the outside, and we'll see if both of those guys have a run stopper. Will that push everybody to the middle, and if Warren Sapp can make a play, and then we'll figure it out together. As always, I want to thank all of you guys for watching. Definitely continue to make sure that you stay safe, protect yourselves and family. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. You have an unbelievable day. One love, y'all.